Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. I'm having a great day, except I'm having some roof work done here. So please bear in mind if you hear some noises along this video. Apologize in advance. So sorry for the inconvenience. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin here, we're going to obviously see kind of what's going on. We've had roughly 3 green days here worth of upwards momentum, minus a nice large candle wick yesterday, but a hammer up effectively. So we are actually looking in decent shape to see 37,500 get tested again here today. In fact, I think it just did that, and it's kind of trying to see if it can break free from that. That being said, let's go and look at some of the traditional indicators, kind of work our way down. We're going to kind of stick with the kind of the standard stuff here today. And just so you understand, of course, we're still well below the 50-day SMA. We will be for some time, but once we break above that, I think that'd be more along lines of somewhat of a bullish sentiment overall, or at least a nice shift of momentum. But right now, you can kind of see we're well below 50 on the RSI. In fact, we just broke above 30, which is a good sign. So if we can close above 30 on the RSI here, kind of break this downward trend, we're going to be in much better shape. Okay, so again, something along those lines here, breaking 30 on the RSI was a big step in the right direction. But if we can get the candlestick to close above that today, it'd be even more important, because obviously we still have 7 hours left in this trading cycle. And if we cannot break above and stay above, we'll still be in the same situation we were in previously with these lower lows and lower highs. That would effectively break out a key level resistance. And if we see here, of course, 37,500 is that current resistance level that was tested once yesterday and rejected very hard. Okay. In fact, the price sold all the way down to about 33,000 as a result of that. So pretty significant decrease in one trading day. Today's been a little bit decent though. Honestly, the market opened and there was no significant jump in either direction. In fact, the NASDAQ is effectively lowering and Bitcoin doesn't even care about it right now. So those are some good signs, some good indications that we might be in the clear tentatively for the moment. I wouldn't say that we have any indication of of being officially okay or back on track until we pass 40,500 and actually close on the one-day candlestick above that, preferably even the 1 week. But I'll be happy with the one-day candlestick closing above 40,500. Got a lot of room to grow between now and then. There is essentially a lot of movement to happen, but that's where we're at for now. Not a bad situation all in all things considered. Just do not fool yourself. We're not like it's not all good. It's not all gravy yet. We still got a lot of things to take care of first. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the 4-hour. And just to touch on this here, we are coming closer to the 50-day moving average. So we literally could see that tested in the next, 5 to 10 hours or, 4 to 8 hours. It's a little too early to tell, but based on how the price responds to the 50-day SMA would be a really big step in the right direction, specifically on the 4-hour chart here, just based on the fact that the 4-hour chart is kind of helping us identify this midterm shift in momentum, right? That's the great thing about the 4-hour. That's why I like it the most. It's kind of like that middlemost ground you can address a nice transition from a micro to macro movement. Now, again, we're still premature, still very early here, but we are effectively still ascending minus this sell-off from yesterday. We're still ascending in this pattern here. So there's the likelihood of it breaking to the upside is fairly high in that regard, again, pending no crazy, stupid nonsense in the news. We are not out of the clear yet with the news, so just bear that in mind as well, okay? Well, in other words, there's a lot of news to come later this month and early next month, obviously with inflation. But, if you look at history, inflation has truly never, damaged cryptocurrency, or more importantly, stock markets in a major way. It always bounces back eventually. So try not to overwhelm yourself. This could just be kind of that natural initial concern that is eventually no big deal, right? So taking a look here at the RSI, we're up over 50 on the 4-hour. That's a very good sign. That helps us understand we kind of broke a key level resistance, which could be this Fibonacci retracement line of right around 37,000. So keep that in the forefront of your memory or mind, to kind of understand that, hey, we're kind of on the right side of the tracks now. This is very early, very premature. This literally just happened, within the last 4 hours or less. So it doesn't necessarily mean that we've broken that officially. If you know anything about resistances or supports, they have to be broken, and sustained essentially for a longer period of time. So one 4-hour candlestick does not give us that confirmation. We needed at least 3 to 4 4-hour candlesticks above that level, or again, preferably a 1-day candle above that level. Specifically 37,500. I'd feel better being above 37.5 on the 1 day. Then we're going to be in better shape at that point. for now, some decent stuff happening on the midterm. Let's take a look at the shorter term here and kind of identify as well, see what's going on here. I'm willing to guess we're up over the cloud still. Yes, we are. We've stayed above the cloud for some time. The lagging span is coming into play here. It might intersect with the price action, but that may not be the worst thing in the world. It doesn't necessarily mean you only have to close your position, but just note that there could be that shift in momentum or where things are kind of slowing down, and you might want to consider trimming your position because we're coming up to that key level resistance. Okay, so again, something to kind of just understand and bear in mind, but for the moment, we can tell that we're in pretty decent shape on the 1 hour, right? Had this nice pattern, little higher highs and higher lows in the short-term time frame there in the last 12 hours. And all in all, very good stuff. So I'm not upset with anything that I see here. Let's go ahead and take a look at TD Sequential as well. We kind of got some consolidation / resets. We're up to a 3, and we just saw we came up to a 9 before we got this downtrend. So hypothetically, if we can continue to push and test that resistance level, it could very well break. We might have somewhere in the range of 6 to 10 hours left of bullish momentum, again, on the micro here. But it's not, not saying that it's going to happen. It's just that the likelihood of it is fairly high, or higher than it would be than for the price to just turn right around right now. Because again, we got this ascending type of pattern. Of course, it's not foolproof. Obviously, it was rejected very hard. So again, there's no guarantees, right? There's a lot of sporadic behavior with Bitcoin for the moment. So we just kind of got to learn to roll with it and understand that, hey, sometimes we're gonna get some wins, sometimes we're gonna get some losses. So again, always minimize your losses by having nice tight stop losses in this type of situation. Obviously, depending on your overall goal, we don't know the bottom's in yet. I still feel 29,000 is possible. But I do think that we might see a dead cat up to 40,500 first before that happens. So just know there's a lot of different potential scenarios that could unfold here. There's no guarantees, of course, but what you can guarantee is controlling your emotions and making sure that you set your targets and ensure that you feel comfortable with that. Set it and forget it and walk away if you have to. Don't sit here and stress out over it all day long. It's not really worth it, especially not with the way things are going right now. Okay, so that's just kind of the way it goes. Disconnect yourself from your rate of return, so to speak, and just kind of focus on each day and just kind of enjoy life, I guess. I know that's really trivial for me to say, but it's very much relevant in a lot of things. I cover stuff like that in my trading academy, how to control your emotions and just making sure that you got to keep your head on straight in this game, because this will drive you crazy if you keep trying to anticipate specific things. But the bottom line here is that there's a stronger likelihood of the price breaking this resistance level and coming up to 40,500 than it is to kind of come down. Because again, it's testing it a second time. Is it official? Is it going to happen? No, I mean, there's no true guarantees. I mean, there's a tentative cup and handle pattern if you exclude this little guy down here, right? So oftentimes when you test resistance twice in this short amount of time after you've had a decrease in kind of this type of continuation, so to speak, the likelihood of it breaking to the upside is higher. Again, when I say higher, I'm not talking 99%. We're talking probably 60, maybe 70% likelihood. And those are the kind of odds and statistics we have to deal with in these types of scenarios, okay? So just, again, no guarantees here, but this is telling us on the technical that we're probably more likely to break to the upside than the downside, just on the immediate short term. Big picture, I still think we're going to get a strong amount of resistance at 40,500, and that'll be a key level resistance to really truly test. But in the meantime, if we can get above, just say the 50-day SMA on the 4 hour, we'll be in much better shape to effectively be able to continue to progress and to break this descending wedge pattern that has continued since November, right? November 9th. We're literally 2.5 months into this continuation that will not break or hasn't broken yet. Will it eventually, get free from that? Sure, yeah, I think there's a strong likelihood of that. It's just an eventuality, but if we look at this here, if say the price were to continue upwards at the same trajectory, we're looking at no less than 4 to 7 days from now, we might see that tested again. And just keep in mind, there's a lot of things that can happen between now and then. We got to take it day by day, which is why I cover this consistently, to help us kind of stay on the nose, so to speak. But again, no guarantees. It just looks like it wants to break to the upside here. That's just the bottom line. But we'll see here soon how strong a resistance 37,500 really is, and obviously understand that too. So I would say if the 1 day candlestick can close above 37,500, we'll be in much better shape to continue. Consider this to be a continuation, perhaps to the upside to 40,500. If we get this, consistently rejected, just say 2 or 3 more days in a row, then we're going to have a problem. Because if you recall from up here, back where we were making higher highs and higher lows, everyone was super happy going into Christmas, December 23rd. Yeah, we have this nice 5% green day. And then for 5 days straight, the price just got stopped out right at 51,000. Couldn't break it. If we see the same thing happen at 37.5, another 2 or 3 days worth of just nonsense where the price cannot seem to break, then that might be a strong likelihood of the fact that it will probably continue to the downside. Okay, so just kind of be mindful of that, be aware of that. But on the short term, if we do technically break 37,500 today or tomorrow, then we could expect, a continuation of the upside, maybe some higher highs and higher lows in the short term until we get to 40,500. And then we'll see right then at that point what really will happen. I think that's going to be a point of contention, and we'll see a lot of push to the downside. In fact, why don't we go ahead and take a quick look here at just say ever since this retracement here, this little pattern I drew from December 27th, how much volume do we have and where? Big surprise, a lot of volume right around 42,500, right in that range. So again, once we get above 40,500, we'll have this major sell wall above the price action. So again, keep in mind, 40,500 is a point of contention, a lot of volume right up above there. And yes, I know it's albeit a very short amount of time, there's only truly 4 trading days at this price point. There isn't enough volume at this baseline here to give us that strong foundation. So again, the bottom could literally drop out, because if we do zoom out and we kind of take a look at the big picture here, and we go ahead and go with just say January, we can see there is a lot of volume right at 33,000. But if we lose 33,000, we're going to be in a position where 29,000 would probably be the most immediate potential support, and then literally nothing below that. All right. So again, we just got to be mindful and aware that if we do lose, just say 33,500 as a rough estimate, then we're going to be in a very concerning situation. So it's very nice that Bitcoin's trying to build a base and continue the upside, making its higher highs and higher lows in the short term, but it's just honestly too early to tell. It's very premature. But big picture, macro, everything's looking bearish even still. And you can see here as well, of course, like I mentioned before, we're just barely above 30 on the RSI. So that's a very good sign that it's no longer a resistance. Hopefully that can maintain as a support, and it will continue to push price action higher. We will tell and know here soon. So we're looking for a good one-day candlestick close today above 37,500, and then we'll go ahead and see kind of what where we're at from there. I think we're tentatively in good shape. Just try not to get too ahead of yourself, and do not put all of your eggs into one basket right now. Yes, if you're a Bitcoin guy or gal, and this is like your 100%, I'm going to go Bitcoin the rest of my life, go ahead and put your money in here. But even still, dollar cost average a little bit at a time as the price continues to either increase or decrease. It's perfectly fine either way, because it's apples, or it's very, very subtle, if you will, right? It's not going to matter if you put in all your money right now or $1,000 lower. But what does matter is if you end up doing that and the price comes down to 29,000 or lower, you're going to wish you hadn't done that. So always set aside some USDT or whatever you would like to have set aside to ensure that you're prepared and ready for the storm, okay? Because I don't think it's done storming just yet. But for now, we can celebrate the good stuff here. 3 days of green candlesticks, not that bad, all things considered, okay? So hopefully you found benefit here. Of course, if you want to become a better trader, consider becoming a community member. I would recommend the first of the month, of course, because I have my Trading Academy rolling out, and we have a new website membership login platform where you can effectively sign in and gain access to those resources. We're going to transition away from Patreon next month too. So if you're currently a member, just know it may not be perfect, but we're gonna stop work with Patreon and transition over to our website platform just to make it more user friendly for you, better billing options, and obviously more resources for you to grow as a trader. So I'm really excited to see that happen. Looking forward to helping you out. Thanks again for your time, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. We'll see you soon.